them to think about things, think about how they ran in the first race, even more so thinking about the fact that now they're taking to the track in radically different conditions. IndyCar rubber, a ton of it down on this racetrack after a full IndyCar distance race. Field set, Beswick on the inside, Majman on the outside, all Pabst, all Aussie. Second race here, the back end of the doubleheader for USF 2000 is green, green, green. Racing down into turn number 1. How wide is it going to be? Contact further back, and I think Evan Cooley potentially involved again. Unbelievable stroke of bad luck for Evan Cooley here. I think he may have got contact from behind. Somebody drove over the back of him. They're going to let him run here for a couple of moments. I guarantee it. There's a great move to the inside for a Scorpione. He dove up the inside. They'll likely let him run out of turn number 9 before we go full course yellow. Let things kind of settle in a little bit. Let them race. And indeed, here they come through turns 8 and 9. Very tight coming through that corner. They'll work their way out of those tight confines of the back part of this racetrack. I expect we'll go full course yellow. I haven't been able to see whether or not the driver is still off in turn number 1. Indeed, the AMR IndyCar safety team is actually on the racetrack in turn 1. The number 9 involved in that one, and that is Cal Peter. Climbing out of the race car, Cal Peter involved in that incident. You see the damage to the left side of the car, right side of the car rather. Front wing is off. He walks away in disgust. I think that maybe Evan Cooley might have been able to get away from the scene and will try to bolt his way back to potentially get a new wing installed in that car. All depends on how much time it's going to take to get things underway here. You can see the damage, significant damage to the left front. There's the number 90 wing right there, Todd. And listen, I'm going to throw this out here, and this is unbelievable because bad luck haunts some drivers occasionally. Evan Cooley, I want to say it's been 4 races where he has not finished a lap. Now, this could be his first lap if he gets back around. He got taken out one of the races at Toronto last year. He had an issue with the fuel pump on the warm-up lap, like on the essentially setup lap. Got taken out in the opening corner yesterday and gets taken out again here. Unbelievable.
That's incredible. That's incredibly bad luck. And let's hope that just for track time's sake, he can get around. They can get a rear wing bolted onto that number 90 car and at least get him some laps. But we saw, and you and I talked about this before the start of the green, coming up the inside. It is such a dangerous maneuver for the USF 2000 cars, or anyone as a matter of fact. It is loaded with paint at the end of that airport runway for the landing stripes, and it becomes so slippery. Even with all of the IndyCar rubber that has been placed down there after their full race today, it is still so slick driving through that area.
I'm just looking at live timing right now. I talked about Cooley and Callahan. Peter, Anthony Martellus at the tail of the field as well. I didn't see Martella get involved in that incident at all. We're looking for that number 92 machine. I don't know that he was collected in that. Maybe is it a transponder issue potentially? We'll try to visually pick him up on the racetrack here. We are full course yellow, as you can see, with the contact between Cooley and Peter potentially in turn number 1 at the very start of that race. Evan Cooley started in 15th, Peter in 19th, so the same row, but just a couple of rows back. Drivers keeping those tires warm, keeping them clean between the sessions while they were celebrating Alex Palou's win here today in the IndyCar event. They were out on track cleaning that thing off in a big way, so thank you to the crew here at the racetrack for getting this track cleaned up big time. They had at least 3 sweepers going around the track to make sure all the bits, both on the line and off the line, were cleaned up.
Great job to get that car cleared out of there so quickly, too, so we can get back, hopefully back around to green flag running this time around. Still watching to see we can pick up that 92 car of Anthony Martella, and I haven't been able to pick that up yet to see what happened there. Did he have to take some sort of evasive action maybe?
He started 8th, so I expect we would have saw him earlier here, trying to see if we can't get some kind of an update on what happened to Anthony Martella. And again, he's not coming across the line. Now, the reason why I kind of popped up transponders because they did some work to get the car reconfigured from junior trim. There was a wire left loose. We're trying to find him on the racetrack so hard here in the shadows. There's the 94. The exclusive cars are in the 90s. We're going to have a look at the replay here, folks, of what happened coming down into turn number 1. The essentially front of the field was able to come through cleanly. Have a look at this here. You're going to look further back into the right side. Drivers are working. There's contact there.
Yep.
It looks to me like he got together right there. Callahan, Peter, I believe potentially Cal Peter got deeper into the braking zone, probably into that zone, and then hit that and went up a little bit. Being told the number 92 of Martella off in the runoff of turn number 8. I don't know if he's still in turn number 8 runoff, but we'll try to have a look for that. I don't see it in any of the cameras that we have access to right now, but potentially told that he could be off in turn number 8. But yeah, it looked to me like, one of the things you'll have happen in these races, the hard run down into turn number 1 is the driver will overcook the braking zone, get into the back of the driver in front of him, and as things kind of spanned out, obviously, Cal Peter was a full 2 rows behind Cooley, got deep, likely the gap probably opened up, a driver maybe moving to their left. He went deeper into the braking zone, didn't get it wound up in time, and drove over the back of Evan Cooley. Cooley's still out of the race. I wonder whether or not he may be able to come back and get that wing repaired. But, man, it is just an unbelievable run of bad luck for Evan Cooley. Him and Martella, those 2 drivers got taken out in the opening corner of race number 1. Todd, they're out in the opening corner of race number 2.
That is absolutely incredible that those 2 drivers would be impacted again by an incident in lap number 1 in corner number 1. Same 2 drivers starting in very different rows here in race number 2 as well. And after they spent so long thrashing, and they're probably off in the runoff area, it looks like they've gone to retrieve Anthony Martella as who's in that runoff. But to have both drivers to go through so much work to prepare, get those cars ready to come back again and race, and then in corner number 1, it's all come to an end.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You think about the time that they put in. They were here late into the evening on Friday night getting that car repaired, and then a little bit even more throughout the morning hours of Saturday here yesterday back at the track. They had obviously a full day yesterday. We were not on the racetrack, so lots of time to prepare that race car. But something happened down here into turn number 8. Now the AMR IndyCar safety crew is pulled away. Were they able to maybe get Martella turned back around, refired, whatever it may be? I don't know. We'll see him back on track now, but he will for surely be at least 1 lap back. Let's have a look at the top 10 as they come around. The chaos of the opening lap. Eddie Beswick with the lead. Sebastian Garzon goes to second. We saw Scorpioni make a great move to the inside of Brad Majman to take over 3rd spot. Majman 4th, Janetta up to 5th, Vergara 6th, Golan 7th, Nanji 8th, Ayrton Khan 9th, and Liam Loiacono in 10th. Again, tough to see the same 2 drivers involved in the opening incident yesterday, or rather Friday, right back at it once again. I'll tell you, it puts them behind the 8 ball in a massive way, starting off the season here in USF 2000. Not surprising. You can just expect how infuriated the drivers are, especially Cooley. When you're coming down into the corner, you got your braking done, you're ready to get through the corner, and someone drives over the back of you. That's again, sometimes that's the issues when you're starting further back in the field.
But wound up starting at the back of the field because of the problems in race number 1. And if you have problems earlier in the weekend, they often compound as you go along. But yes, to be the victim of seeming to have your house in order, but get contact from someone else, it's frustrating.
Well, sure. and you remember qualifying for race number 2 is set up by your second fastest race lap in qualifying. And then potentially your fastest race lap. If you go faster in race number 1 than you do in your second fastest qualifying lap, you could swap those times out. And to be able to get on track, again, with fresh tires, you're probably going to put a good lap down. A lot of drivers were able to turn their fastest lap in their actual race time. In fact, if you look at the grid right now, only 2 of the drivers in the top 10, their fastest lap was their qualifying laps. The rest were from their fastest race lap time. And with neither Martella nor Cooley able to leverage that full race, they were not able to get another time. Hence why they started deeper in the field. In fact, Cooley, as we know, all the way back in 15th, put him in the grinder, as we've said. A couple of guys have called that. It's you're just back there. You never know what's going to happen. Drivers making mistakes, and again, tough one for Cooley to be out of that. So back at it here momentarily as the yellow flag flies early here for what will be a 20-lapper. Beswick, Garzon, Scorpioni, Majman, and Janetta, the top 5. Vergara, Golan, Nanji, Khan, and Loiacono, your top 10. Field set once again. Pace car's already gone. We're going back to racing. This will be a good opportunity for Sebastian Garzon to potentially make a run here at Eddie Beswick. Restarts are tough here, especially at St. Petersburg. Some of these tracks with the longer straightaways, and it's very wide, as we know, down the entry. It's all about getting out of this corner cleanly, getting a diamond, and getting on the throttle early. Good run for Scorpione as well as Garzone. He may get challenged from the back as well. Yeah, I think a Scorpione closer to Garzone than he is to the leader. But you can always make that big lunge. Yeah, there's the lunge to the bottom for Garzone. Not quite enough. A little bit further back, the VRD drivers side by side as well. Vergara and Janetta. So initial start here for Beswick as he's able to hold off Garzone, who looks deep into turn number 4. Sebastian Garzone, second-year driver, as is Beswick. The rookie, though, USF Juniors champion Leonardo Scorpione for the single-car Zanella Racing effort. The USF Pro Championship scholarship colors took $250,000 from that scholarship win in the Juniors Championship into USF 2000 with his team. Zanella with 7 drivers in USF Juniors and only 1, just a Scorpione here in USF 2000. We're being told, I think, yellow flag on the racetrack again. Indeed, another incident on the racetrack. Messy right now here, number 97 at the exit of turn number 10. We're being told that will be Connor Aspley at the exit of 10. That's coming through this corner here. There he is. Oh, contact there potentially. So I see some issues. Oh, I thought when the AMR IndyCar safety team was kind of pulled down, I thought that I could potentially see damage on the left front of the car, but just stop there now. They're putting the hook in it, and it seems like it could just be a flat toe, so likely a mechanical. Todd, if they flat toe it back, there's no damage to suspension likely. Usually it's just an issue with the car itself.
That's right. Get them back and at least get back out and get what you can out of this race and the remaining 14 laps that we've still got going, and hopefully some green flag running here pretty soon at the USF 2000 series here at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Man, this has been a frustrating start. This was I don't know. I was going to ask you about how everyone was handling the unusual schedule with such a compressed Friday and having so much time on Saturday. And being here towards the end of the day on Sunday, it's unusual to have that much time between races. Even though there's an awful lot of rookies in this series, that it's still all new to them. But it's a very unusual schedule.
Honestly, I think most drivers kind of enjoyed it, to be honest with you. They enjoyed a day on Saturday to watch the truck race and watch qualifying for Indy Next and IndyCar and, really get a chance to stay focused and be fresh when you got back to the racetrack. They enjoyed, of course, watching the IndyCar race, but, you get behind the wheel here and these little minor mistakes we're making. And indeed, I hate it for Connor Aspley because he's a full-time juniors driver just looking for seat time here at St. Pete because, he's going USF 2000 racing next year. So I don't know what to tell you in terms of all the other wrecks. It's just, again, you got to get your head right at the start these starts here. Being told we do have a look potentially at the replay, whether or not we'll find out if it's contact or not. You can see coming out of turn number 10, the car of Aspley there slowing on the racetrack. If anything, maybe a light wiggle in the right rear. I don't know if I saw it kind of wobbling a little bit back there, like it did just touch the barrier coming in. Nonetheless, he is coming to a stop there. Yeah, maybe just the shimmer of the wheel, but Aspley coming to a stop. Drivers left out of turn number 10. So, wow. That's 3 of the 6 exclusive Autosport drivers done. Aspley 21st, Martella 22nd, Cooley 23rd. Callahan Peter out of the race as well in 24th. Looks like it's going to be Ayrton Kahn, Gabe Kahn, and Kaylee Countryman to carry that exclusive Autosport flag for the remainder of the race. Just a tough start, because I'm telling you this right now. I did my USF 2000 preview on my podcast, had that released late last year, and I would have put Anthony Martella and Evan Cooley, 2 primary championship contenders, and they're going to leave this weekend, Todd, from St. Petersburg with minimal points, while the guys that are battling, guys like Garzone and the Scorpione, are up front right now looking at maybe another podium, another win.
And how much do we talk about drivers in USF 2000 or any of the USF Pro Championships is get through, complete all the laps, get as many points as you can. If you're a serious championship contender, it is about consistency. This is not the kind of consistency that you want, is having issues on lap 1 in back-to-back races. And now that's also going to in the back of their mind think, okay, I can't have another bad weekend. I have to achieve, and you don't want them to start overextending themselves further in the year.
Yeah, you've got to get back into it. You've got to put your head down. You got to chip away at points, right? We already know that Evan Cooley's been on the pole multiple times, front row multiple times at the Indy Grand Prix circuit. Did that as a junior. He did that race. He was on the pole, the front row last year as well. This guy knows how to get around the racetrack at Indy GP, and that'll be the next race for these drivers in the middle of May before we head to IRP and the one and only oval at the Carbonite Classic. But like again, for a guy like Cooley, it's not your fault. Somebody drove over the back of you. You're like, even yesterday, it wasn't his fault. It was his teammate spun in front of him. He had nowhere to go. To come into a race like this and it just not be your fault at all, it's just absolutely ridiculous. So again, it'll be a mental challenge for him to make sure he stays focused, comes back to the next race and gets at it. Green flag flying and we're underway. One driver heading to pit lane here right now. It's one of the Jay Howard driver development cars diving to the right of the racetrack to get into pit lane.
Looked like there was contact coming through the hairpin.
Potentially. Back in the lead here. There's the number 12 machine. He's gone to the lead. Garzone able to get by Eddie Beswick. So Garzone goes to lead. Beswick into second. Third spot of Scorpione, fourth Majman, fifth Vergara. Great shot here running down into the turn number 4. Big move to the inside for Scorpione to the inside of Beswick. Book it. He is through. Leonardo Scorpione, the junior champion, showing why he was able to win that title last year. A talented young driver. Podium third yesterday. Trying to see if he can't go to second row in here today. Finally settling in for really kind of our own first opening lap of getting actually some time in here. Let's see if we can't put a couple laps together. String some here, boys. Let's get through. Drivers coming in. There's a move a little bit further back. A couple of those VRD drivers going at it deeper in the field as well. Teddy Masella making a look by Nanji, I believe, as well. But finally through the turn number 11 and 12 complex, or 12-13 rather complex here, coming through turn 14. Big sweeping right-hand hairpin. Dime in that corner on the throttle early. There's Nordquist battling it out there as well with Vian Bossoff. Big defense down to the bottom of the racetrack here as well. That might be Nanji and Gabe Kahn. Man, awesome close-up shot there. The drivers working their way through turn number 1 and 2. Outside there for the 17 of Garzone. That allowed the 19, I believe, of Aiken to slip through. So a lot of action happening right now.
That's a great look at the corner where Scorpione made that terrific move up the inside to take over second spot. He had to really get that car slowed down and under control to complete that right-hand turn. That was a really nice move.
He almost got a trail break to get it to start rotating coming into the corner as well, so you're not off into the tire barriers on the outside. This, to me, is one of the toughest parts of this racetrack here as they sweep through that 8-9 complex. They're just so tight through there. The barrier on the outside, and the long run through the kink, turn number 10. Down here to turn number 11. Left-handed leads into the 12-13 chicane. Garzone, Scorpione, Beswick, Majman, and Brady Golan now up into the top 5. Golan on the move. There he is there in the D-Force car. But they're lining all up behind him right now as well. Vergara, Janetta, Kahn, Masella. The VRD drivers attacking the exclusive machine of Kahn. 3 drivers from the F1600 Championship Series moving up to USF 2000 this year. Gabe Kahn, Ayrton Kahn, and Wesley Gundler. Those 3 drivers all splitting the wins in the F1600 Championship Series. They finished 1 point apart in the championship standings. Just an absolutely unbelievable run for all of those drivers throughout that season. It was Ayrton Kahn, the 18-year-old, with 4 wins coming away as the champion ahead of his brother Gabe, and then Wesley Gundler in third. So great to have those drivers move their way up. As we all know, F1600, a very, very long time solid training ground for drivers moving up into USF.
Front 3 continue out in front, but it looks like Brad Majman wants to make it a 4-car breakaway. He's trying to get in close there behind Eddie Beswick right now, trying to see if he can find a way around.
I think Beswick actually may have slipped by. Beswick, I think, got back by a Scorpione. Yeah, Beswick's back into second, a Scorpione back to third. So a good fight right now. Beswick had just turned the purple lap, was able to find a way by. So he's still pushing up front here. Good stuff. As again, we're at it with the race 2 for the 18 event schedule for USF 2000. Again, they go to the event at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There's a big defense down the bottom for Scorpione as Majman's trying to find a way by. Majman to the outside, going to try to sweep around. Not quite enough. Oh, big wide exit of the corner for Scorpione. let the car drift a little bit past the apex, saying, no, you're not there yet. I got the entry, I got the exit.
That is the elbows out version of racing, is it not? Now he's looking up the inside in quarter number 4 once again. This is a good fight.
Yeah, it's not allowing a Scorpione to go back at Beswick either. So to be honest, management doing a little service here to his teammate Beswick, making sure that the driver who's putting all that pressure on, got to keep looking in the mirrors a little bit. Beswick going back on Garzone. Look at this lineup further back. Wow, that's all the way back, I believe, to I'm trying to think. Where is Bossoff? I was looking for Wesley Gundler. He's all the way down to 19th. I don't know what happened there for Gundler. I think that might have been a timing and scoring issue for Gundler. Being told the driver went around in turn number 1. So I got Gundler on live timing in 19th, but he's right in the middle. He's that white car left side of the screen there. That's Gundler in the NV Motorsports car. So maybe a little bit of issue for live timing for Wesley Gundler. They'll try to pick that back up. I don't think that he's a lap back. There he is there in the white NV machine. Garzone, Beswick, Scorpione, Majman, Golan. That's Vergara, Janetta, and Masella, the 3 VRD drivers, one right there together, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Ayrton Conrad runs 9th, and Lucas Nanji 10th.
This is the kind of action that we were hoping to see right off the top. Unfortunately, those couple of cautions tied things up first in the first few laps. But Garzone and Beswick having a terrific battle at Scorpione, and Brad Majman also having their own fight. And then from Brady Golan back for about 5 positions, it is nose to tail and everyone looking for a way forward.
Yeah, don't make a mistake right now, because if you do, you're going backwards. Let's put it that way, because these guys are nose to tail, as Todd had said, pushing hard through even those tight sections of the racetrack, from 4 all the way over to 10 essentially, or 9. Unbelievably tight. If you do the track walk there, you'll really be in awe of how narrow it is. After you come essentially through 5 over to 6, 7, and 8, it's just so super tight coming through. Where are we here lap-wise, getting the things done here right now? Again, knowing that we're at a 20-lap race, but we do have a time limit, remember. We've got 13 down, 7 to go. I'll take the opportunity to say hello to those of you tuning in on the YouTube channel. We had people from all over the world on the channel yesterday, or Friday rather, for the opening race, and a lot of commentary. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's watching on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying this Sunday afternoon, the back end of a doubleheader for the drivers here in USF 2000. 13 laps down, a number of them, Todd, run under the yellow flag condition, but we've had some green flag running here right now. Whether or not Eddie Beswick has anything for Sebastian Garzone, that's really the question here early on. Garzone about 0.8 of a second up. Scorpione's giving himself a little bit of breathing room for Brad Majman. Then back to the train. Golan's got some room on Vergara, but Vergara's got Janetta, Masella, Khan, Nanji. His brother Gabriel's there. Wesley Gundler, they got him fixed up on live timing. He's right there as well. And then Colin Aiken. So essentially it is 6th all the way back, I want to say, into 13th. Those 7 drivers nose to tail.
And then there was about a second or a little over a second between all of them as well. This is tight battling that we expect and look forward to seeing in the USF 2000 series. And you just, as you watch the timing and scoring, it's instantaneous. They all click across as they light up so quickly. That's the great battle that's going on.
Ian Bossoff there as well. The tail of that group, he's kind of caught his way up to them using that draft. The South African, the number 67 for Sarah Fisher Hartman Racing Development, had a great run yesterday. I keep saying yesterday, I'm just used to Friday. We never have a Saturday off. Again, a solid run on Friday for him, and then backing it up right now, a solid drive here, trying to get himself back up into the top 10.
Little bit of a gap now to Eddie Beswick. Sebastian Garzone is stretching it out to just over a second. Interested to see how these tires have reacted to quick start, stop in terms of the yellow flags, and how they've managed the tires, and who's going to have, is it going to make a difference at the end? I'm trying to think of the tire management too, would there be new sets for everyone, or would you have a scrub set for this race?
Well, again, depending on how you played your tires, right? 3 sets of tires for essentially 3 sessions, qualifying in 2 races. If you use 2 sets of stickers for qualifying, like a lot of teams did, you're going to have a set of scuffs for at least one of the races. You're only going to be able to hold a fresh set of tires, those stickers, that 3rd set for one of the races. So again, if you use those tires, those scuff tires from qualifying, they're gonna last pretty good. Yeah, you may have a little bit of advantage if you're on the fresher tires. I think more in the opening couple of laps. They'll kind of, I think, level off a little bit at the end. I will say this: Garzone, talked to him yesterday quite a bit about how he kind of managed that race. Early on, pushing hard, but within his limits, really, but pushing hard. He wanted to try to build that gap. And then those last 5 or 6 laps, he said, just got into a really nice rhythm. It wasn't 100%, maybe 95, 92, but got into that rhythm where he just could keep hitting his marks, and he was getting all that information from his team saying, okay, here's your gap. You stretched a tenth. You stretched a half a tenth. Everything he was doing was right, so you never want to back off too far. If you back down to 70%, that's when you make a mistake. Any driver will tell you that. You want to be pushing. You want the car to be driving on the edge. The car likes being on the edge. It doesn't. These cars don't like to drive slow.
No, they don't. They are not built to drive slow, and that's the mistake that will sometimes get made by young drivers, is that you back off a little too much, and it becomes more of a challenge and more difficult to drive.
There's your lead right there. Garzone's got a good gap. You see the top 4 drivers have a nice cushion as well. Garzone, the Colombian from the Ava, looking to get 2 wins to start the season for D-Force Racing. As I had said in the pre-show, Todd, you got to go back to 2023 for their last USF 2000 win. It came at Mid-Ohio with a driver named Mac Clark. He was able to score the win there. You remember, they're former USF 2000 champions, former two-time USF Juniors champions. D-Force Racing knows how to win, but it's been a while since they've been able to bag one here in USF 2000. They brought this young Colombian in last year, coming out of the Lucas Oil School of Racing, won their Formula Car Series, got a scholarship to come into USF 2000. Last year, he was a little wild. It was that wild stallion that kind of had to hold back because he would make a little mistake here. He'd be super aggressive here and got into a couple of incidents. He's a year older, a year more mature, very good in the offseason, super strong in qualifying, able to get through that issue in turn 1 yesterday, settle into a groove, and he did not get the lead here, but he went for it and now has the front and is pulling away once again. What a great run, a great weekend so far here for Sebastian Garzone.
It's a great illustration of the USF Pro Championships program as the drivers come in. They're all young. The minimum ages are 14, 15, and 16 for the free steps on the last. So there is a natural maturing process that takes place, and everyone will say that you would rather have a driver that you have to rein back or just temper their enthusiasm just a little bit, as opposed to someone that needs a little boost or motivation. That's a much easier process for the team.
100% that. No doubt about it. I'll say this, 16 rookies in the series this year, so for the first couple of races, those veteran drivers are going to have just that little bit more advantage, especially here at St. Petersburg, where it's very tough. The rookies are having to get comfortable. Garzone and Beswick, both second-year drivers. Scorpione, his first time ever on a street circuit. Oh, big wide one there for the 94, a Con. Ayrton Con Hungley, left rear out, and if he didn't just tickle the concrete, he must have been right there. You couldn't have fit a slip of paper through there. Oh, and listen, that's how it happens. That's how easy it happens. Coming through that corner, there's a bit of a dip when you get down into the apex of the inside of turn number 10 there, 9 rather, Todd. And when you get through, it just wants to shoot the rear end around. We saw it happen to a number of drivers.
Yes, and that if it did not touch, that is as close as you can absolutely get without actually touching. But
and as a driver, he was just cinching up like, here it comes.
I'm hoping that the contact does not arrive. I love that the Con brothers are in this series together too. That's going to be a great family dynamic of competing against each other as well as their rest of their exclusive autosport team.
Yeah, there's the 94 of Ayrton Con right there. Lucas Nancy right behind him. Ayrton running in that 9th position. Yesterday, Ayrton finished 13. His brother Gabe finishing 8th. So a couple of good runs so far. White flag will fly this next time by, I believe, a 20 lap or 18 in the books. It'll be lap number 19. White flag will fly for Sebastian Garzone. Does he come away with his second win and take a nice lead into... Oh, another run there for Con. Look at, you just see that the hands working their way through. But indeed, does Garzone take a pretty solid lead into Indianapolis and that road course event? You think about it, Beswick's second here right now. He was 20th yesterday. A Scorpione potentially with a couple of third-place finishes. Vergara, 2nd and 6th. This would be a nice lead for Sebastian Garzone.
Exactly what you want to do. Go into a weekend, have consistent finishes, come away with a lot of points, set yourself up for success moving forward in the season.
Aaron Likens giving us the final lap. White flag from the starter. D-Force, blue and white up front. They've won the championship before. with the Brazilian Kiko Porto. A couple of championships as well in USF Juniors with Matt Clark and Nicholas Giaffoni. Off to a fantastic start here in USF 2000. Just 8 or 9 corners still to go. Make it 5 or 6. Got to get through this particular part of the racetrack. Scorpione is reeled back in. Beswick, you wonder whether or not he'll try something late. Beswick second. Clean through the kink there of turn number 10. Turn 11, hard braking, left-hander. What a weekend for Sebastian Garzon. Ended his karting career essentially in juniors with a couple of wins at the Superkarts USA Super Nationals. He keeps running karts, keeps running cars. Out of the final corner. What a start to 2026. Onto the front straightaway, ladies and gentlemen. Back-to-back jacks for Sebastian Garzon. 2 wins in St. Petersburg for the D-Force Racing driver. A couple of victories for Columbia. Awesome drive for Garzon as he's able to get it done in both races. Eddie Beswick returning from the back of the pack after issues on Friday to come home here in second. Leonardo Scorpione third on Friday, third here today as well. 2 podiums for the young Floridian. Brad Majman, he'll be happy as well. Couple of 4th place finishes for Brad. Not wins or podiums like he would have wanted, but compared to a lot of his competitors, I'll take a couple of top 5s any day coming out of St. Petersburg. Brad Majman coming home in the 5th spot. Joao Vergara in 6th. Janetta, Masella, Nanji Khan, the top 10. Todd, a wild one for sure. Big victories for Sebastian Garzon. I'll head down to pit lane for an interview pretty soon. But the bottom line is there's some guys that had some fantastic runs. There are a couple of guys that will be forgetting St. Petersburg and looking forward to Indianapolis.
Yeah, they will be happy to put this one in the rearview mirror, a number of these drivers. But not of course, Sebastian Garzon. We'll hear from him momentarily. But a terrific run, a little difficulty at the start of this one, getting things going in the right direction. But we finally did after a couple of yellow flags. It was Sebastian Garzon who made the move on Eddie Beswick, who was the pole sitter for today's USF 2000 race number 2 here at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Leonardo Scorpione, USF Juniors champions a year ago. He starts off his USF 2000 career with that scholarship car and brings home back-to-back podium finishes. A tremendous run for the rookie. Brad Majman, Brady Golden rounding out the top 5. Joao Vergara, Ryan Janetta, Teddy Musella with a good run too. Lucas Nanji with another top 10 run as well, the rookie from Montreal. Colin Aitken, Gabriel Kahn, the second of the 2 Kahn brothers, and there you see that number 12 car. Sebastian Garzon finding his way into pit lane after another successful run here on the streets of St. Petersburg, and a very successful debut for the 2026 season. Team moving in for D-Force Racing to give congratulations once again, and is there any better feeling than backing up a win with another win, and again with such a long break in the schedule. Of course, it was nice for the racers for USF 2000 to have lots of time to see plenty of the other action here all weekend long on the streets of St. Petersburg and enjoy some of that. But just a bit of a deviation from what is the usual routine of practice and maybe qualifying on Friday and then having races throughout the rest of the weekend. However, Sebastian Garzon adapts to it very nicely, and he may choose to have this format for the rest of the year, but slips the cap on, puts the steering wheel back on, and is ready to get out of that car and enjoy the celebration for the second time this weekend for victory here on the streets of St. Petersburg. Going to get congratulations from his team for the second time this weekend.
I'm here right now, getting a chance to talk to his team here. Could you ever thought you'd come here and get away with 2 victories to start the season? What an unbelievable drive.
Yeah, like I knew we had the space to win, but I didn't know to win both races. No, I don't have words right now. I'm super happy. First, thanks to God, obviously, to my team, to my family, and to all my sponsors.
Talk about the racetrack a little bit. Running after IndyCar, so different than it was on Friday. How quickly were you able to come to grips with the extra grip?
Yeah, you think the track will be super grippy, but it was super greasy. It was super like it was in high speeds corner like 2 days ago was flat. It wasn't. So I need to like back it up a little bit in all the braking zone. So Yeah, the track was really difficult, but I knew how to do it, and I take the victory.
You like take some time to say something in your native language to the folks back home in Colombia?
Pues muchas gracias a toda la gente que me está apoyando ahorita mismo y viendo, y pues voy a seguir trabajando para dejar a Colombia en lo más alto.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sebastian Garzón, folks, fantastic job. Let's come over here to Eddie Beswick. Eddie, much better than yesterday, obviously able to get through the opening corner. You pushed, you took the lead, back and forth. You got pressured from behind. A Scorpione got by at one point. Just give me your thoughts on coming home P2.
Yeah, obviously pretty happy to get my second podium and first with the new team. Leading off pole's a bit easier to control turn one's fate. Wasn't too happy with the balance at the start of the race. I was lucky to hang on to the lead through the cautions, but pretty happy to bring it home second and get this year rolling.
I asked Sebastian the same thing. What were your thoughts on the rubber right after IndyCar? A lot more grip.
Yeah, definitely changed the track quite a lot, and even the temperature changed a lot. So it's not really a shot in the dark with the setup. Like, I've got a good team that can advise it well, but I feel like it's pretty hard to get it perfect, and we got close. We were second best today.
Eddie, congratulations.
Thank you.
Eddie Beswick coming home, folks, in that second position. Back-to-back podiums for the USF Juniors champion, Leonardo Scorpione. How big is that for you to come away with a couple of third-place runs?
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, of course, I wanted to win, but it's not bad. You know, 2 P3s. Yeah, it was good. We were really quick this race. I think we were the quickest, so it was good.
I think one thing to bring up is the fact that all these teams have 3-4 cars in their tent. You guys are by yourself. You, Jose Zanella, Ernie Ganella. How do you guys do it with one car?
I mean, it's pretty easy when you have Ernie, to be honest. We don't need the other cars. As long as we have Ernie, we're good. So I'm not too worried about that for the whole year. And, yeah, I mean, it was that the car was on rails the whole weekend, so I want to thank Ernie and Naka for the whole effort, the whole Zanella team, and, yeah, we'll be back.
The other two drivers on the podium have been here before. Your first time to St. Petersburg. What were your thoughts on running a street circuit for the very first time?
I thought it was awesome. Honestly, I love it. It's probably not one of my favorite tracks, so yeah, I'm very excited for this.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He's a Florida driver, folks. Great job for Leonardo Scorpione, USF Juniors champion, coming home today in third spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting set to go down here in Victory Lane to cap things off at the back end of the doubleheader here for USF 2000. Again, these drivers, the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. This is where Renus VK, Kyle Kirkwood, all these drivers in this IndyCar program got started. Today's event, the Andersen Interior Contracting Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Let's start with the driver coming home in third place today, folks. USF Juniors champion from last year. What a debut in USF 2000 from Florida and Zanella Racing, Leonardo Scorpione. Dimitri Charles, who gave us our command of fire engines, is going to bring up the trophy to Leonardo. And great to have our guests from Andersen Interior Contracting with us here again this year at St. Petersburg. What a fantastic weekend it's been. Great job for Leonardo. Nice job. Finishing in second spot today, all the way from Australia for Pabst Racing, it's Eddie Beswick. Eddie's going to grab his spot there. Joey Eggerman's going to help us out with the trophy. Good opportunity to meet the future stars, folks. When you're here as part of one of our guests in our groups, you're able to give out these trophies, meet the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. Joey, awesome stuff. Great drive for Eddie Beswick after issues yesterday. Got himself back on the podium today. But I'll tell you, what a great way to start the season for this sophomore driver looking to try to work his way to a championship that could give him that scholarship worth over $400,000 to move to USF Pro 2000 next year. He starts it with a couple of big wins. Ladies and gentlemen, my victor again today from D-Force Racing, Sebastian Garzón! Candace Weiss will bring that P1 trophy up. Sebastian Garzón's got a room full of karting trophies back home. He's going to add some USF Pro Championship trophies to the program as well. Thank you so much, Candace. We appreciate that. Again, these young drivers, what a fantastic drive on tough conditions. I talked to all of them, and they got out of the race car, and man, the IndyCar rubber down. Grippy but greasy. The heat, as we know, temperatures mid-75s, humid. A lot of the times that car will slide around. A lot different than it was when they raced on Friday. So just to see these drivers out here battling it out between the concrete canyon walls of this tough St. Petersburg racetrack. All about training them for when they eventually get to the NTT IndyCar Series, when they're up in the big show, like Kyle Kirkwood out there racing hard for a podium position. Can end up coming up P4, but Kirkwood learned it through this USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 program. He was the champion in both of those categories. Christian Rasmussen winning both of the USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000 championships as well. All on their way to the IndyCar, and that's where these young drivers are aiming to get. Let's bring all of our guests here from Andersen Interior Contracting up. We're going to get a shot with the top 3 drivers here on the podium. It's been a fun weekend with everybody from AIC, the best drywall company in Florida, I hear. Dan Anderson's going up there as well, CEO of Andersen Promotions, the program that runs this USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tires. Yeah, privilege for me to be able to see these young drivers. I've been lucky to watch them come through the karting ranks up here and now working their way into these top circuits like St. Petersburg. They'll also run the street circuit up in Toronto, up in Markham, Ontario this year, on the outskirts of Toronto, a suburb, home of Honda Canada. Fantastic venue it's going to be. Looking forward to that in a big way. But again, you can see the joy of these young drivers when they get themselves up on the podium, the success that they're able to have. There are 21 drivers back in the paddock now who did not have the same kind of success. So guys, grab that ship. Oh, we doing trophies still? All right, one more trophy. Get the trophies up in the air. Trophies down, champagne time, guys. Grab that champagne. You know what to do with it. Grip it and rip it. Let's go. Champagne time here at USF 2000. Sebastian Garzon with the win. Second place, Eddie Beswick. Third place, Leonardo Ascorpione. Guys, congratulations. Sebastian, oh, we got a shoey coming. Yeah, I like it. The shoey from Garzon. Sebastian, please stay up there right now. I need you to stay up there. The other 2 guys come off here. It'd be great. Can I get David and Ernesto Martinez as well, the team owners from D-Force Racing, come and join us on the stage, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Kish is going to go up. This is the 250th USF 2000 race, a commemorative. Dan Andersen, Michelle Kish, David Martinez, and Ernesto Martinez from D-Force Racing. What a special win for Garzon. Yes, it's his second win as well, but it's also the 250th USF 2000 race. We wanted to celebrate that and commemorate it. D-Force Racing has been part of this USF Pro Championships for so many years, a core team of what we do, and fitting that they're able to come away with a victory here. Former USF 2000 champions with Kiko Porto, and now the point leader here to start 2026 with Sebastian Garzon. Round of applause, folks, for all these people that are involved in this, the series, the team, the drivers. 250 USF 2000 races. And you know what? It all started here in St. Petersburg back in 2010 when the program started 16 years ago. Again, great to have D-Force Racing up on the podium. Lots of shots to be done. D-Force crew, get your butt up there. Let's get some shots going on. For those of you back home watching on the YouTube channel, we do appreciate you being along for the ride. The opening rounds of USF 2000 here for 2026. From now, we look forward to the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the month of May. Next up for USF 2000. But for those of you at home and everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of Andersen Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.